It's an all-out battle on this episode of Lucas Oil on the Edge. A championship belt and a whole bunch of money is on the line for the fastest door slammer drag racing on the planet. The Extreme 10.5 class is going to be tearing up the 8th mile, and you don't want to miss a second of it.
Got it tacked up, and if you get too close, you're getting cracked up. Stone cold when I roll, coming out of the hole. Get back, cause I'm out of control. I'm on the edge.
Welcome to Lucas Oil on the Edge. It is time to go drag racing professional style. This is the Extreme 10.5 drag racing in Texas. We're at the Texas Motorplex. Ken Stout and Brian Olson ready to call the action for you. These things are incredibly fast. The thing that they do it on a tire that is only 10.5 inches wide is amazing.
Yeah, that's the true equalizer in the category. You can have a blower motor, turbocharger, carburetors, anything you want to run, but you've got to run the 10.5-inch W tire. And again, you don't even have to cross the scales. And when it's all done, you're battling for that belt. Here's a little more about it. The top 8 qualified cars make the field. No minimum weight, no maximum weight, superchargers, turbocharger, nitrous, whatever you want to put on it. Once again, you got to have that 10.5-inch tire on the back. Dan Millen out of Michigan came out this year with a brand new race car, and he has just crushed it.
Obviously, that battle for the belts, it is anybody 1 through 8. Anybody's got as good a shot as anyone. As you see, I think Spiro last year was number 8. He ended up winning. He was 7 or 8, I can't remember. So really, it's anybody's game on here. What I got to do and what I'll do to set me apart is, one, we've never won nothing yet, so we're hoping that we got some luck behind us and we can get to the final round and get the win. 2, we're going to try to be as consistent as possible, do what we're supposed to do. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do as a driver. The crew's going to do what they're going to do. I mean, we're just going to try to get it done. I watched the ADRL last year. I came to the last race. I said, this is where I want to race. And just to be in the top 8 and having that ability to be able to be number 1 for next year, we're going to do what we can. It'd be great.
And the record holder qualified down at the bottom of the field will have to line up next to Kenny Doak out of Pipersville, Pennsylvania.
We've been pretty conservative all year. I've been fighting some converter issues, and my team here, seeing working behind me, we're doing it ourselves. So it's been a long year, a lot of learning. Last year we won the World Street Finals in Orlando, and that was an unbelievable accomplishment. So we know the feeling. We won a world championship. We just got to get it done, and it would be more than life to these guys.
Ken, I want to tell you, nobody works harder than Kenny Doak and that team and the K&K Racing group right there. But they clearly have had bad luck on their side throughout the 2010 season. Dan Millen, meanwhile, built this car brand new early in the year. It would not go down a racetrack. Then they moved the engine back. They've been tested for like 2 weeks straight. And I want to remind these folks out here today that this is the 7 and 8 qualified cars. It's the first pair in competition. You got to win this round to go to round number 1. But this is the only pair involved. And they're 7 and 8 in qualified coming in.
And you can see those small tires sucked up way underneath those rear fender wells. Here we go. Oh, this one's over. Doak goes red right off the bat. He is done. Millen will move on.
384, 199. He leaves with an 025 light. Watch the Mustang right side of your screen, which, by the way, is an Al-Anabi team car now as well. Millen does everything right and takes the win.
This Lucas Oil on the Edge telecast is being brought to you by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. General Tire, anywhere is possible. Herculiner truck bed liners, when the tough comes easy.
Coming up a little later, we'll also show you some more of this. Yeah, some pretty scary incidents out here on the drag strip. All right, round 1 action for the Extreme 10.5 category, and the belt is at stake. Here we go.
Todd Moyer, the team out of Texas, turbocharged Chevrolet Cavalier, and he's been doing it for a long time, and he's one of the best. And he'll match up here with Jeff Nizer, engine builder, Houston, Texas. He drives a Grand Am with one career win under his belt, but he'll have to take out one of the best in Moyer. 4 and 5 in qualifying. If you look at the math, you'd think the car nearest the camera would have the advantage, but not the case when you come here to Texas.
See the crew members excited right there as well. Purge the nitrous and get that one ready to go.
Now, two totally different configurations here, Ken. Carburation and nitrous would propel the car nearest the camera, and that's a Grand Am. Turbochargers, and you'll see the fire coming out of the rear fender, the rear of the front fender there in just a moment when Moyer brings it up. Both sides, there we go. Oh, baby! Big time explosion, Jeff Nizer. Big time win light. Todd Moyer, 395.
And Moyer way over there by the wall, but watch it again. They both launch. Look at the fire in the car to your left side of your screen right there. Typically, when the nitrous cars run right, there is a nice flame out of the pipe, but nowhere near as much as there was right there.
Spiro Pappas, he is a defending champion from 2009, drives the prettiest GXP you will ever see.
Chuck Olsch will line up alongside of him out of Maryland, a mile-per-hour world record holder at excess of 205 miles per hour. Absolutely amazing how fast these things can go on an eighth mile on that small tire. They're adjusting the wheelie bar right there, making a final adjustment, and that is critical when that front end comes up in the air. These things have to go straight, and there's a good chance they might not set that thing down to well past the 120-foot mark.
First time we've seen a supercharged car so far in round number one. That's Gil Mobley's Camaro alongside a Spiro Pappas turbocharged GXP. And again, one of the prettiest cars, in fact, a couple of the prettiest cars you will ever put your eyeballs on, but two totally different configurations by way of power plants here.
Single bar wheelie bar here in the near lane for the Camaro as they pre-stage and stage the cars. Of course, a conventional style wheelie bar in the far lane for Pappas. They're waiting for Pappas to roll in. Oh, and a big roll in right there. And Pappas dead late.
Chuck Olsch goes 392, just crushes him at 008 off the starting line. So we watch again on replay. A 008 always makes a 110 look that much worse, Ken.
Absolutely. I mean, one is almost psychic, and the other one, of course, it looks like you're sitting there watching the race happen. You can't do that in this style of racing. Speaking of legends, here we go.
Billy Glidden, 4-time #1 qualifier and the largest winning percentage in the category, will match up with the new kid on the block as far as ADRL is concerned. A Mickey Thompson 3-second club member, Dan Millen.
And of course, Dan Millen, you mentioned that with ADRL, but he's been running these small tire cars for as long as I can remember. Right. He has a ton of experience, so don't count him out.
You know, when Bill Glidden first showed up with this car, it was a GTO-bodied machine. It's been reskinned. It's now a Ford Mustang. Millen's got the Mustang as well. Millen struggled with this car early on, and again, I mentioned it earlier, they reconfigured the location of the engine, moved some weight around, and it's deadly consistent. But at one time, Billy Glidden was the man to be in this category. Then all these guys purpose-built these cars just to chase that guy right there.
And how about that? That has to be a huge upset here as Dan Millen drives back around Billy Glidden, who had a 002 reaction time.
Man, great side-by-side drag race 002. Millen's in the 20s on reaction time. But when it comes right down to it, you got a small cubic inch Ford with carburetors and spray and a great big blown machine alongside. It's all Dan Millen, a 384, almost 200 mile per hour, 199.49 miles per hour.
All right, Gary White out of Newmarket, Alabama. 5 career wins, as you can see there, and we had a chance to speak with him.
We needed, at the beginning of the season, we kind of talked about we'd like to be #1 so we'd get that first round bye. In the past, it's kind of bit us here going out first round in the last 2 years. So we wanted that bye. And kind of fit our game plan. It's kind of exactly what we wanted to do.
We won some races this year, finished #1 in the points. We get this bye. It's everything from here out, you know, it's just a bonus.
And he's got a weird car, man. 182 cubic inch, the inline 6-cylinder, baby, but it is fast.
Boy, he's pulling gears so fast, you wonder how he can get it done. Amazing stuff, and yeah, hold on, the crash segment's coming up.
Welcome back to OTE. Each of the 4 semifinalists blaze down the 8th mile in the 3-second zone. It's going to take another 3-second run to secure a spot in the finals. Gary White and Turbo Todd Moyer pulled to the lights first. White had the first round bye, but that didn't stop him from putting a 395 on the board in round 1. Moyer also laid down a 395 run against Nizer. This is going to be one close race, and the win could go to either man.
10.5 has come a long way. I started playing in 10.5 in '94, and it's really everybody's pushing the limit. And Dan Millen, all of them, Olsh, everybody's really pushing us, so we're doing what they're doing and just keep driving. Now we just got to find out how to go faster than they do. So we're either going to do it or we're going to spin the tires and go home. To come out with a win would just be totally awesome. I mean, I wouldn't, you know, I'm somewhat not expecting it, but yet we are working at it harder than you could ever believe. We're trying stuff that we've never tried before. It's working. My guys do not give up. They push.
And Brian, as you well know, everybody can build a horsepower. It's about applying that horsepower, managing that horsepower, and keeping those tires hooked up.
Yeah, I use the term horsepower management with some bit of frequency. In fact, sometimes overuse it. But that's exactly what it is here. You got to know exactly how to get that thing off that starting line. If you can get these cars to leave the starting line without blowing the tires off, without shaking the tires so bad, and get past that shake zone, which is about, you know, anywhere from the start line to the 80, 100 foot area, you're going to be on a good run. 2 wild machines here, 2 turbocharged cars, 1 inline 6-cylinder for the #1 qualifier, alongside a big cubic inch turbocharged Cavalier Todd Moore near the camera. Gary White first off the starting line, and Gary White first to the stride, baby. 395, 187. That makes team owners Nero and Bottle very happy.
And it's just a pleasure to listen to that car that Gary White has. I mean, extreme RPMs out of that thing. Of course, lays it up on the chip right before he launches it. Nailed that one perfectly with that 014 light. That's how you get it done.
Dan Millen coming up next. And again, you see the Al-Nabi logo on the shirt of the guy that's getting ready to shut that door. And this is one of those cars that's got a torque converter on board with a Lenco drive or Lenco planetary transmission. They call them Lenco drive. But Dan Millen alongside is Chuck Olds. Now these cars a bit more evenly matched. You say how? Well, they both have blown motors, similar in cubic inches, similar in wheelbase, and the fact they both use torque converters to leave the start line, so they actually lead off of a button on a tranny brake.
I love the flat black on that Mustang in the far lane for Dan Millen. Both cars absolutely gorgeous, but I love that flat black.
Got something about mean written all over, doesn't it? 384 in round 1, 385 this time by, and look at the speed, baby. 200.20 miles per hour.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Gary White better get up on it because that's a couple of strong passes out of Dan Millen. Gary White's going to have to get down there in the 80s if he's going to hang with him in the final.
And a tough break right there for Chuck Halls.
Are you a fan of Lucas Oil on the Edge? Want more behind-the-scenes information and footage? Become a fan of OTE on Facebook and you can get your fill of all the On the Edge craziness and excitement. Simply log on to facebook.com, type in Lucas Oil on the Edge.
All right, time for the final round here. the 10-5, Extreme 10-5 category, I should say. Gary White and Dan Millen ready to do battle here.
And seriously, if there ever was a situation where two cars were totally different, this is it right now on the line. Again, a stretch wheelbase, 2011 Ford Mustang body, clothed over the top of a tube chassis, very lightweight, light as you can get them. Like I said, they moved the motor back in this car. They moved some weight around on it, taking on a Titan, a Titan Motorsports Scion with an inline six-cylinder turbocharger taking on that big blown motor.
And Dan Millen has been on rails every single round, has gone a little faster as well. Now the speed up over 200 miles an hour at 201, but up on the tree right off the bat. A little bit behind Gary White, but had plenty of steam to drive back around him.
Listen to Millen's numbers: 384.8, 385.5, 384.0, 200.2, and 201.16. Dan Millen, your champion in the battle for the belts.
That is yours, my friend. The World Championship belt for the Extreme 10-5 division to Dan Millen.
I mean, it's awesome. Honestly, I can't thank enough people. I'm going to start with Shea Khalid. Obviously, this was his creation over there in Qatar. We talked about it. He said, let's do it. I was a little skeptical. I didn't know nothing about a blower, new car blues. I'm like, I didn't know what to do. I said, let's do it. He put Tutaro on the challenge for me, and Tutaro just did an awesome job being patient with us. I mean, I'm sure I taxed him all year just with our team is different than a lot of teams, and, he was very patient. I was really happy to have him help me out. So I can't say thank enough about Ellen Abbey and Todd Tutaro. My crew, awesome job. They just, all weekend, every weekend, I put them through the worst things you can think that anybody can put through. These guys are just great guys. And I also want to thank my wife for being very patient.
It's time to give some love to the future stars of drag racing, the Pro Junior Dragsters. You must be under 18 years of age to compete, and this is the only dial in class that competes in the American Drag Racing League. Tyler Allen has been consistent on the tree today, and Alexander Oppen has been running right up to his 792 dial in time. It's finals time.
Let's keep the action going now with the Junior Dragsters that started back in 1992 with the late Vinny Knapp and his son David from Englishtown.
Guarantee you, they got it all started. They got it past the sanctioning bodies. It is an opportunity for the kids age 8 to 18 to race these things. On carburetors, a lot of them use alcohol, but here's your final round. Alexander Oppen, the team from Wisconsin, and Tyler Allen, a nice, cool kid out of Manchester, Kentucky. His father, the Allen's Auto Repair, Allen's Auto Center, Allen's Towing Machine, taking on the pit pal car nearest the camera. Handicap racing. Left lane leads first and has the advantage off the starting line. Tyler Allen, can he win the belt? Yes, he can. Tyler Allen. Dad says yeah. Mom says yeah. Sissy says yeah. And it is all good. And Dad told Tyler, by the way, you win this race, I'll go buy you a brand new race car, which I understand has been done. But watch it in the replay. The better reaction time was the far side. And he's looking over, tapping the brake. Oppen goes down. Allen takes the win.
You're the pride of Kentucky, and you've gotten those Minuteman trophies before, but you've never gotten one of these. No. Take a look at that. The World Championship belt. Who are you going to thank for this one?
My parents and my sister and everybody that helped me get to this race.
OTE will keep you on the edge of your seat with exciting racing, and you don't want to miss what we have in store for you later on in the show. Come on back.
This Lucas Oil On the Edge telecast is being brought to you by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. General Tire, anywhere is possible. Herculiner truck bed liners, when the tough comes easy.
Sure, everyone loves to see a great side-by-side drag race, but let's be honest, we love the crashes too. It's time for the Lucas Oil Crash Lab, and this week we've got some of the best drag racing crashes.
All right, hold on because it's going to get intense. Let's get this thing going, Brian.
Man, we don't even make it 200 feet, and boom, Cody Barkledge, Lucas Oil. You can't see it from right there, but we'll watch it in replay here. When he smacks that wall, look real close. The alcohol tank is right in the front. You see the flames now. What you can't see right now, you look real close, is it's still on fire. As one of our crew guys will get over there, he does not want to get near that car. Cody would walk away unscathed.
Billy Glidden in the far lane gets in trouble here. It looks like something broke in the rear, and you can see that left rear was already laid over when that car made that violent right-hand turn, and there you can also see it's laid over real well. Unfortunately for him, he was laid over on his lid.
And you can see Hawk and Animal and the guys, they jump right over there and hit that power switch, kill the power to the car. Wasn't able to do it on Cody's car's on fire, but right there, Bill hits the wall. Man, a great job avoiding the collision for the car in the other lane, but right on his lid, he would rebuild this car and be back in pretty short notice, Bill Glidden.
Also important to say, this stuff happens so quickly. Scott here just lights up the rear tires, almost keeps it off the wall, just nudges it in on the right front.
Yeah, the left front tire dug in, and I mean, Scott had nowhere to go, and like you said, happened so quick, boom, baby. I mean, just like that. He's out of the butterflies. You can see that the motor shut off, but it's made so much momentum in just that little rotation of the tires. The only bad thing is, one of them hooked, one did not, shot him right into the wall. There's the result. Not too much damage overall. This was ugly. Tommy DeApril smashes the left wall. Throttle's hung wide open. Comes right over, smacks the right-hand wall. You see our guys headed right for the fire extinguisher, doing the right thing. And they're going after Tommy DeApril.
Another look at it here. It gets out of shape. He gets out of the throttle right there, and then when he slams into the wall, it probably slung him forward, including his foot. Back on the throttle right here. That or it just jammed something up into the throttle linkage, but it was wide open into the wall again, and finally it shut off here.
Crazy part about the run, it was not even a qualifying run. However, they were just trying to get the car flogged out a little bit, trying to get some bugs out of it, and unfortunately, this was the result for Tommy DeApril.
Thanks for watching this episode of Lucas Oil on the Edge. We've had a great time watching the Extreme 10.5 drivers tear up the 8th mile. Congrats again to Dan Millen and his crew for taking home the championship belt. For Ken Stout and Brian Olson, I'm Jamie Howe. We'll see you next time with more competitive, adrenaline-fueled motorsports. Just remember, you're not living unless you're on the edge.